Hey everyone, this is BU Dude. I wanted to go through this process of creating your own X-rayed map. There seemed to be a lot of confusion on some of the steps, and I hoped by going through the process as a video, I could clear up and make it more simple for people. So first off, I'm gonna start by installing all the software I need. I'm using Windows 10 and Google Chrome. To begin, we'll download the OSM cover. That just brings you to the GitHub page, and you can ignore everything that's on here. The important part is to download the releases. So to begin, we'll go to Windows 64-bit. It'll download. I have it set to download to my desktop. So we'll just take this and extract it all here. It extracts to this folder. I'll rename it to something like X-Raids. Now once we have the program, we need to install IITC so that we can pull the data off of the Ingress Intel map. So we go here, we want the desktop version. Since I'm in Google Chrome, I'll use Tamper Monkey. If you're in Firefox, you want Grease Monkey. I'll click on that. And add that to Chrome. The next step is to download IITC. You can do that by just clicking download here. And then tell Tamper Monkey to install. And then next is to get the modified portals script. So we'll open this. And scroll down to the bottom. Go in here, select everything, copy it. We'll go over to Tamper Monkey. And create a new script. And get rid of all this and paste that script in. And then we'll save it. So after that, you should be all set to go. I'd recommend also installing Notepad++. It's just a useful thing to have throughout the process. And since I haven't downloaded it yet, I'll download it now. Okay, now we'll want to head over to the Ingress Intel page. Sign in. One of the problems originally with IITC is when it loads, you'll have a blank map. So I change it to the default ingress map. And so for this, I'm just going to pick an area where I know there's portals and an actual X-ray gym that's been used before. Yeah. So we'll zoom in. Zoom in again. And at this point, we'll start seeing the red circles pop up. This is the zoom level that we want because this gets us all of the portals in ingress. For most cases, this zoom level will be too far in to actually get a usable area you want. So you'll want to head over to your browser zoom and zoom out a bunch. This basically tricks ingress into thinking we have a higher resolution monitor or bigger monitor than we actually have. And so he'll go ahead and load all the portals for the area. In the lower right hand corner, you can see it go through and you'll know when it's finished because it will say done. So at this point, it's done. I'll head over to portals list and I'll have a list of all the portals. Scroll down to the bottom and we'll click export. And this will give us the CSV file downloaded. So after that, we'll want to head over to Overpass to get our map data. And for this, I'll just go back to the same area that I was at in the ingress map. And then we'll click run. What this does is checks all the areas around, looks for the tags that meet what we think are X-ray compatible areas, and all the blue areas are compatible areas. So then we'll hit export, and we want to download a GeoJSON file. We'll head back over, and at this point we're ready to find the points of interest that are actually compatible or eligible for X-rays. I'll take the two files that I already downloaded and drop them into the folder where I have OSM cover. At this point, I know a lot of people were confused on how to run OSM cover. You want to do it from the Windows command prompt, which you can do by holding Shift and right-clicking, and then open shell here. I'll then go back over and take the command and paste it in. At this point, I got an error. I've seen people who ran into this error. I think what you need to do is go and add quotes around it. And then other times we'll run into problems. Some of the times the data doesn't work for my area, it doesn't work, so I need to go in and remove all the quotation marks. So I'll go in Notepad++, go to where I downloaded the CSV file. And the easiest way I know how to do this is you can do replace, fill find with a quotation mark, leave replace blank, and then hit replace all, and that gets rid of all of your quotation marks. And then hit save. At this point, you'll probably have some problems like this. What this means is the name of the portal has a comma in it, which messes up the program. So you look at the line number that it tells you and go to that line number in the file. And then we'll get rid of it. We'll run it again. 396 this time. And success. So at this point, you can, if you go to geojson.io, you can open the file and upload it. Head over to output. Let it chew on the file for a bit. Now you should have a map that has all the portals from Ingress. The green ones are ineligible X-ray locations, while the gray ones are not. And the green squares show the eligible locations or parks. But at this point, we want to get rid of all the gray squares, or gray points. So to do that, we'll go back to the output file. And inside of markers with features.csv, it has all of the points that are in eligible locations. So what you need to do is take these names and open your export.csv file. We'll take this name and we'll search for it. And so what you want to do is take this string, copy it, and put it into a new file. And we'll save this as gyms. Gyms.csv. Proceed to go through all of the points in this map, doing the same process. take Celebration Park. Put it in here. I'll only do a couple of these, just so you don't have to sit and watch. Once you've done that, we can head on over to step 5. And run gyms.csv. What this does is takes the points that we suspect are gyms and only shows the gyms that are in eligible areas for X-raids. So all of the gray points that we don't care about are now gone, and we're left with only the points that we care about. Now, the problem here is all of these points could be Pokestops, they could be gyms, or they could be ingress portals that didn't make it over into Pokemon Go. I'm going to focus on this area because I know only one of these are a gym and one of these is a Pokestop. So using whatever source that you prefer, whether it's knowledge or other sources, you need to go through the potential spots and verify whether they're a gym or not. Now I know here this one is a Pokestop, whereas this one is a gym. So I want to go on here and see what name it has and see that it's the North Pavilion. I'll head back on over to my gyms file. And remove the one that is not a gym. And we'll save it. You want to go through this with all of the potential points, verifying whether they're gyms or not. And once you're done, save it, and we'll move on to the next step. At this point, we want to produce the gym map with the level 12 overlay so we can see what gyms can only, or what gyms and what areas can only have an X-ray at a time. We want to get rid of all of the green park points and just replace it with an overlay. So we'll just do grid equals 12. And if I head back on over to GeoJSON, this time it will be called output, and we'll see the points that I know are gems and the S12 layers. Now to get this into Google Maps, we just want to save it as a KML so that Google Maps knows how to understand it. We'll head on over to Google My Maps, create a new map, and we'll just call it X-rays. Import, and select your downloaded KML file. Let it process it, and you should now have a grid with all of the parks and gyms on it. At this point, you should be done. And if you want to, you can share it with others. Click this link, and you would change it to anyone with the link. And you can copy this link and share it with whoever you like.